Here is my basement lab. I wanted to make a video kind of explaining the area and kind of visualize it for my essay. So I'm gonna give a kind of a little tour. Over here is my workbench. I have all of my kind of machines. Out front is where I keep them. So I have my hot plate, which I use a lot for heating with a beaker. And then I have my power supply, which I use a lot for my electrolysis stuff, like electrolysis with like potassium nitrate to like make pure potassium metal. I use this. I'm also going to try another electrolysis experiment, but instead of as I have recently obtained some sodium hydroxide, so I will be doing that in the near future. Then I have my heating mantle, which I most recently used to distill iodine, paper towel in case any spills happen, book for calculations, I use the calculator on my phone. I have all my safety I keep on top of my chemical drawer, gas mask, rubber gloves, latex gloves, vacuum, distilled water, and safety goggles. Here I keep all of my chemicals in a closed area. Here I keep my furnace, which I use when I melt down metal, and glassware. And then here I keep a box of like electric stuff whenever I do like electrical engineering. So soldering and wires and batteries and stuff like that. CO2 cartridges that I'm using for a potato cannon. I keep my fume hood inside because if I want to do any kind of experiment that doesn't produce any gas, I'll usually do it in here just because I can keep it cleaner easily than the workbench, and also it's easier to contain anything if anything spills. Usually do everything in here and then I'll move it outside if I actually have to turn on the fan. Here is where I keep all my glassware. A lot of it is outside right now. I just did that iodine distillation and lots of my glassware is covered in iodine and I have to clean it up. So then here's my desk. This is my workbench, my place where all the cool stuff and experiments happen. So under it I keep kitty litter in case I have a spill, trash, and water pump for distillation for cooling. But most importantly, I wanted to show the chemical collection. So anytime I do an experiment, I take a bit of the chemical that I either made or used, and I put in a little vial. If it's dangerous, I dilute it, and I glue it down, and it's just used for me to kind of remember all the experiments. So I kind of wanted to show that. I have iodine that I distilled. I have some raw iron nuggets from thermites. I have some potassium nitrate that I synthesized from the nitric acid and potassium hydroxide. Nitric acid I used to make my copper nitrate, and I also have the HCl that I used in my gold extraction from computer parts. This is the potassium nitrate that I in part used for the rocket fuel. Here's the copper sulfate that I used in part to make sulfuric acid. And yeah, here is the 3D printers. I have another upstairs. I don't use these often anymore as I've shifted more towards chemistry. So yeah, this is my lab. This is my favorite spaces. I love spending time in here. Lets my brain flow and just really allows me to envelop myself in chemistry. Thanks for watching this video.